I am beating every N64 game, and I mean all of them. The twist is, the next game I play is randomly selected, so I have no clue what's coming next. This is the journey to beating every N64 game. Game number 170, WWF Wrestlemania 2000. Released in 1999, this game was developed by AKI Corporation and published by THQ. So this game is technically the sequel to a game we haven't played yet, but I'm sticking with the wrestling organization's style. AKI began developing WWF games after Acclaim lost the license post-WWF Attitude. So in a way, this is a sequel to WCW vs NWO Revenge. Anyway, WCW vs NWO World Tour was pretty fun, so I had high hopes for this one. I wasn't into wrestling at all growing up, and the only game I remember playing as a kid was WCW NWO Revenge, as well as a game called Saturday Night Slam Masters on the SNES. So my experience with these games is minimal. I've done pretty well on the ones we've played for this challenge so far though. How hard could it be? Let's get into it. The main single player mode in this game is the Road to WrestleMania, so that's what we'll be doing to beat this game. You can't necessarily create a wrestler, but you can modify existing ones. Conveniently, there are a bunch of original wrestlers to serve as placeholders for created ones, so I went to work. The weight started at 200 pounds and I intended to max it out. My god, it took so long to scroll that far. 700 pounds? Are you kidding me? You can also set their intro music and video. Wow, that is some high quality video. I think I nailed the ideal look. Can't improve on it whatsoever. You can also adjust the moveset, of which there are well over 100 moves to mess around with. I kind of ignored it for now because I didn't want to deal with all that. Finally, I had to pick my tag team partner. I went with Big Show. Why not? Then it was finally time for my first match. It was me and Big Show versus Meat and the Blue Meanie. Before the match, it shows everyone's intro videos and plays their songs. I know a lot of people are hyped about this kind of thing, but I just don't get it. It's cool for sure, but I don't know. I think the match itself is much more interesting to me. I don't know what the heck is going on with Blue Meanie's intro though. This guy is weird. Getting into the match now, and player 1 sure liked to grab Meat and knee him in the face. Now that Acclaim is gone, the annoying fighting game style combos to do moves are no more. Just grapple them and press a button in a direction. So simple. After a little bit of a beatdown, Meat tagged out. This brought all 4 of us into the ring for a brief period, and it is chaos. I also love how once Meat left the ring, Big Show was just kicking him off to the side. Like, dude, get out of here. You actually move with the D-pad in this one, and if you press the joystick, you'll taunt the audience. Once your attitude meter reaches dark red, you'll go into special. Player 1 had the Tombstone. At least I think that's what movie's doing here. All I know is, it looks painful. If you hit them with one of these, it's pretty over. I knocked Meat around a bit more and he was in the danger state. It was an easy pin at this point. I'd won, but it felt quite rough. I still didn't understand the moves all that well. My next match was against Draws. You might be wondering how you win the Road to WrestleMania. Well, it's a lot of matches. Like way over 50. We're gonna be here a while. So I just kept kneeing him in the face, seeing as that was the only move I could figure out how to do. You know, other than my special, the Tombstone, Draws never had a chance. Probably would have taken a different position to pin him there, but hey, it works. Now it was me and Big Show versus Gangrel and Edge. You can see here my knee was getting reversed. The cracks were starting to show. Let alone how I weighed 699 pounds and he could somehow lift me up? That doesn't work. Didn't help that I blasted my partner out of the ring for no good reason. Oh shoot, my bad. With like the 20th reversal of the match, I was in the danger state myself. The tables had turned. I was getting completely annihilated. After 6.5 minutes of getting my butt kicked, I was finally pinned. I had lost my first match. Not even the fact that it was a loss, but the fact that it wasn't even close. Nowhere near a win. This was bad. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead about 2 hours here. I tried editing player 1's moves, but it still felt horrible. I just couldn't get anything going with him. I was losing fairly consistently, and I ended up deciding to start the entire thing over with some real wrestlers. I chose to play as The Undertaker with Kane as my partner. My first match was a 3-way with Chaz and Prince Albert. I'm not sure what this double slam move is, but it worked out in my favor, so I'm happy. Also, this move where The Undertaker walks on the ropes is nuts. I would feel so scared that I'm gonna fall off. But yeah, playing as The Undertaker was quite nice. I was actually able to get my own reversals off rather than it literally always happening to me. I'm not sure if the created wrestler has bad stats or what, but yeah. I got an easy pin here and I felt so back. These three-way matches were some of the tougher ones and I had a clean win this time. My next match was against Meat. I'll take this time to talk about the graphics and music. The graphics are pretty solid. I'm really impressed with how nice the crowd looks. It feels like most other wrestling games so far, it didn't even look like people back there. You can see each individual person and even read the signs. The wrestlers look good too, although I'll say it's a bit strange seeing a real image of their face imposed on there. The game runs smooth with no real lag too. For the music, it's pretty generic MIDI guitar music. You hear the crowd and the sounds of the ring, but I feel the game's missing a commentator. I actually enjoyed that for the previous two WWF games. So anyway, after hitting Meat in his meat a few times, I got the pin, taking my second win. I had to fight Meat again for some reason. The Undertaker's special move also happens to be the Tombstone. Player 1 committed copyright infringement. Then I had to go up against Brian Christopher. The Undertaker probably has the best taunt of them all. He just tilts his head back a bit. That's it. Wow, so scary. Then it was a tag team match against Al Snow and Hardcore Holly. I love how the way they block punches in this game is just sticking their chest out and being like, yeah, that didn't hurt. The Undertaker was so good. It felt like I was playing a completely new game. I had a choke slam as just one of my basic throw moves. I'm sure you can get the created wrestler to have some sick moves, but it would probably take quite a while to input them all in the creator. You can either do a basic or a strong grapple, so there's so many different moves you can do. I love this move where he just grabs their arm and then does like a reverse kick. This guy was flexible. I don't think I could pull that one off. One thing that annoyed me with the tag team matches is it seemed like my teammate was so slow to get in the ring. I'm here trying to pin the guy because he's ready, but Kane is just taking his leisurely time. Hurry up, will ya? Oh my god, if they're against the turnbuckle, Undertaker just dives into their face. That has gotta hurt. I don't know if this is Viscera or Midion, but he just cartwheel kicked me in the face. You know, I used to think wrestling was lame, but if anything, it's an impressive display of athleticism. Some of the moves these guys do are nuts. This was my 8th match and the first where the game started feeling a bit difficult. I had to tag Kane in for the first time. Here he is just grabbing the guy by his ears or something. Dude, that would hurt my neck. Like, I'm assuming the computer has some percentage chance to reverse my moves, but it was annoying because I could never get a pin without the computer getting me a break. The longer the match went, the more damaged I got. Like, is Vince McMahon out here deciding the crowd needs The Undertaker to get upset for the best storyline? I don't even know what this was. Why is The Undertaker not getting in here and helping me? It's not supposed to be a 2v1, what a scam. And then when he's in the ring, it's not like he did anything. He's just standing there. Come on, dude! Don't get me wrong, this game is generally fun, but I really dislike the tag matches. Eventually, I got Kane into special, and his is also the Tombstone? I'm not sure if that's because Undertaker is my main, or if he just also had that in real life. After 17 minutes of disaster, I finally got in a position to pin with no interference, and it somehow didn't work? This dude has been tombstoned like 4 times at this point, come on. 21 minutes into the match now, and somehow these pins are still failing. I've hit him with the tombstone like 6 or 7 times at this point. I swear this match is rigged. I'm gonna get my knees broken in the back alley later for this performance. This one might have worked, but again, their guy flies into the ring to save and Kane is taking like 10 years to climb in. And this time Kane's busy cheering to the crowd instead of stopping the pin. I just could not believe this match was still going. 26 minutes at this point. Finally, after 31.5 minutes of this chaos, I got them to stay pinned for 3 seconds. I just couldn't believe this lasted so long. I was straight up not having a good time. I feel like there should be a max time limit for like a decision or something that makes them get knocked out when they take too much damage. I don't know. I don't approve. I think part of the problem is Kane is just slow. Like, both of the wrestlers are doing the same animation to enter the ring here, but Kane takes nearly twice as long. This time I only had to go for about 12 minutes. I lucked out and Draws was taunting when I went for the pin. When it's a solo match, I feel way better. Like, it's pretty common for them to be over in under 3 minutes because no one's there to stop me from doing a pin. After 11 wins, it was time for my first title match, the Hardcore Championship. I was against Matt Hardy. These title matches have some kind of special partner outside of the ring. I'm pretty sure this guy's Paul Bearer, Undertaker's manager. They also have no timer for being outside the ring, and you can reach into the crowd to find weapons. I got him caught in the corner in like an infinite stun lock with this briefcase. This definitely would have made Kid Me rage if my brother was doing it to me. After beating him with that for a few minutes, I decided to have mercy and go pin him. An easy title win for The Undertaker. Then the next match was also called the Hardcore Championship for some reason. It had my manager outside this time too. Oh well, easy win. This led into the King of the Ring tournament, an 8-person single elimination bracket. Apparently this is one of the big 5 events in all of WWF. These were the same title style matches with weapons and all. Not sure how X-Pac stole this trash can from me, but that was scary. He hit me with his special, whatever the heck that is. That's the weirdest pin I've ever seen. But yeah, I beat X-Pac, then dominated Farouk, then took down Ken Shamrock in the finals. Undertaker was the King of the Ring winner. After staying undefeated, I finally had my first loss in a 3-way match with Viscera and Steve Blackman. These are so dumb because I was doing the most damage by far, but I just wasn't the one who got the pin. After winning like 8 or 9 filler matches, it was the Intercontinental title, and it was a 3-way match for some reason. I was against Road Dogg and Edge, and luckily I didn't get screwed over this time. I finally had learned to drag people on the ground to give myself a better chance at getting a pin. I don't really know what happened here though, because neither of the partners jumped in. Hey, I'll take it. After 22 wins, I was in the WWF Championship against the legendary Triple H. Don't worry, I'm nowhere near done. Remember, it's the road to WrestleMania. I took him down and something special happened. Dude Love came in from the back with Undertaker wearing his signature robe. He said to have mercy and he was here to create peace, love, and understanding. I thought something weird would come from this, but nope. It's just a random thing that didn't change anything. Still, with like 30 matches to go, I was already quite tired of the same stuff over and over. I did learn that when things aren't going so well, you can quit out of the match and restart with no penalty. That gives me a bit of a safety net, which is nice. Eventually, I was in the European Championship match. Somehow more prestigious than the WWF Championship, this was with D'Lo Brown and Bradshaw. Another one where I just couldn't do anything about them taking the pin before I could. I hate 3-ways. I defended my Hardcore Championship title and Cactus Jack came out from the back. He sure looks a lot like Dude Love. He said he was the real champ and he was going to teach me a lesson. Well, now I had to defend my WWF title against Dude Love. This time it was a cage match. This reminds me of that time Undertaker threw Mankind 16 feet through... I'm not going to repeat that tired meme. I was really struggling to escape though. You're supposed to button mash when you get to the top, but he just wouldn't leave. I was getting a bit annoyed with it. Finally, I left while my special was still active and it worked. You have to really beat him up for a while to have enough time to get out. Dude Love admitted he did not have a good night because he both broke his teeth and cracked his face. But he assured me he will take the title someday. Yeah, sure buddy. Wait, who's this guy named Test? I thought it was a bug with the game, but I looked it up and he's a real wrestler. That's a weird name. Oh snap, in like week 30 something, I was in the WWF Tag Team Championship match against Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy. I figured this would be a disaster, but it was honestly one of my cleaner tag wins. I was happy. I'm skipping over tons of these matches, but there were so many fillers. Like, you can just see the total time played on the game in the top left to get an idea of how much I'm skipping ahead each time. Just know, I was pretty fed up with this. After making it to January, it was finally time for something interesting. The Royal Rumble. Basically, 4 people are in the ring at a time and it's a free-for-all. If you fall out of the ring at any time, you're out. So you can see here, Christian gets knocked out and is eliminated. After 10 seconds have passed, someone new comes in. This time it's Hardcore Holly. There are 30 wrestlers in total, and I hope you can see the problem here. If I'm one of the 4 initial people, I'm at a huge disadvantage compared to the ones who come in later. I'm getting beaten up and losing stamina the entire time. It was going to be rough. Hey look, it's Big Show's first appearance. Well, you know, other than when I did my initial run with Player 1. One perk of it being a free-for-all is the computer would knock each other out sometimes. I'll need all the help I could get. Then it happened. After 16 minutes and only 9 people out so far, I got knocked out. Ugh, this was going to be such a slog to get right. The best strat I had for getting people out was grapple them, throw them at the ropes, then just do a big old kick. Ideally, they fall out immediately, but if they hang on, I could just kick them again. Oh look, another 13 minutes down the drain. Mankind dove on the ground and made me go over the ropes. I'll admit, that was a tricky play. Didn't make me any less salty though. I found a decent strat on the next run. If I timed my inputs really well, I could get everyone out of the ring at the same time. It was tough to do, but it was really satisfying when I got it. If this happens, all 3 people don't come in at once. It's just one at a time. In theory, I could keep grabbing the new person and launch them out and just have one person every time. If you mess up at all though, it all falls apart. Ken Shamrock is busy punching me instead of helping our shared goal of getting Big Show out of there. On my 5th try, I finally had a deep run. The Rock managed to knock Stone Cold out for me, and it was just me, him, and I believe that's Chris Jericho. However, I couldn't get these last 2 dudes out. Oh my god, I had no idea he could grab me from outside the ring like that. This only happens when it's the final 4. I would have been so mad if he just pulled me all the way. Eventually, The Rock took Chris Jericho out and it was just me and him. Surely I can beat just one person, even though he's practically at full health and I'm ready for the ICU out there. Oh no! Yeah, I think we all saw that one coming. Dude, I was ready to literally smash everything in the entire room. I hadn't felt rage like that since I was like in middle school playing SOCOM 2. After like 3.5 hours, I had myself in the final 4 again. I took down Mark Henry. 2 to go. Stone Cold then pulled the fake out on Test and got him out of there. I was expecting some shenanigans, but I had a good block and I was able to throw him into the ropes. Yes! Thank God. Yes, dude, yes. Thank God. Oh my God, yes. Oh my goodness. I can't express the pure feeling of euphoria knowing I didn't have to do that ever again. I did not enjoy it. I then had to face Steve Austin in the WWF Championship match. This was literally free in comparison to that Royal Rumble. I thought that would be the end of the game, but nope, still more. After like 10 more pointless matches, I beat Triple H in the WWF Championship match once again, but this time Vince McMahon came out and said he would never give me the title belt. I thought I'd already won it like 5 times already, so I guess The Undertaker went rogue and I had to wrestle him. Yeah, this was a free win, this guy sucks. And finally it happened. We were at WrestleMania. This was the road to WrestleMania and it only took 11.5 hours. Jerry the King Lawler shows up and says he's come back from Memphis and is gonna commentate again. He introduces his partner Jim Ross. Yeah, just let me in this already. He's wearing a cowboy hat, by the way. Well, I beat Triple H for like the 69th time and thought that was it, but of course it's not. Now Shawn Michaels comes from backstage and says he's the only Grand Slam winner, the Heartbreak Kid. He says he's the true #1 contender, and I'll have to beat him if I want the belt. Fine, I'll pin you too. I'm over this career mode. Shawn Michaels says it's not over, and oh god, please. He assures me he will defeat me and become WrestleMania champion. And then finally, it congratulated me on winning and the credits rolled. Game complete. Oh snap, this is one of those vids with 2 games in the title. That's right, this game engine was reused in Japan as a separate game. So here's game number 171, Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 Ōdō Keishō. Released exclusively in Japan in 2000, this game was developed by AKI Corporation and published by Asmik Ace Entertainment. Now, this game uses the exact same engine as WrestleMania 2000, but it's quite different in other ways. A lot of people tell me that these aren't kind of the whole reskinned game deal, but I think they're similar enough to put them both in this same video. The main menu looks just like the other one, aside from the color scheme. Fortunately, this game does have a fan-made English translation patch available, which is always nice. Royal Road Succession was the main mode, and I was a bit nervous after that last experience. The wrestlers are not the same at all. They are people from various leagues in Japan, but they're familiar faces to people who love wrestling. Like in All Japan 3, there's Vader. I don't know who that is, but several people watching were excited to see him. I decided to play as Vader with Johnny Ace as my team partner. You can see the schedule menu looks quite similar as well. Each wrestler has their own intro sequence, but it's definitely not as flashy as the ones in WrestleMania 2000. There is an announcer before each match that says the names of the wrestlers, which I thought was pretty cool. What, you're supposed to say the second name first? Veda. This has that same meter mechanic, but it's called Spirit instead of Attitude. Vader's special appears to be some kind of power bomb. Gotta be painful. I got a pin in just a minute and a half, which was faster than all my matches in WrestleMania 2000. Oh snap, maybe this won't be such a chore. Vader's taunt is just amazing. He runs a few steps down the ring and spins his fist in the air. Way cooler than Undertaker. One thing this game has that's missing in WrestleMania 2000 is the grapple battles. If you go for one at the same time, you can get caught in this standoff. You just button mash A and B to win. I like this in WCW vs NWO World Tour, so it's cool to see it here too. You can reach into the crowd and get weapons as well, although if you screw up with it, it just despawns. It seems like the tag team matches were going to be less of a pain this time because Johnny Ace actually gets back in the ring at a reasonable speed. Man, this was feeling so much nicer. Oh snap, apparently I had just won the World Tag Team Championship. It's nice that it acknowledges you winning it. I was confused whether I actually won all those belts in the other game because it didn't do any kind of scene like this. I think this is me unlocking additional belts for the Creator Wrestler feature. The full game isn't translated, but it's definitely enough to play. It seems you unlock all kinds of new items from this mode. I guess I'm unlocking like a new Speedo? I don't know what they call that thing in wrestling. After just 40 minutes of play, I had now won the All Asia Tag Championship. This was going so smooth in comparison. Then I won the Triple Crown Heavyweight Championship. Most of these matches were lasting under 2 minutes. Like look, I'm getting Stan Henson into a pin in just 90 seconds. That's efficiency. Now I'd unlocked some cool pants and a plain white t-shirt. I was crushing it. Oh snap, we won a World Tag Team Tournament and received a 10 million yen check. That's like 100,000 US dollars, I think, which honestly isn't bad. Oh yeah, another difference from WrestleMania 2000 is that this has a referee on screen during counts. It's just a cool little detail, but I like it. Now I'd unlocked some ripped jeans and a ripped white t-shirt. This game had this weird round robin type of tournament that was missing from WrestleMania's campaign 2. Basically everybody fights everybody once and the best record wins. I think the triangle means it was a draw? I'm not sure. Oh snap, another 10 million yen for the dynamic duo as a prize for that one. I'm loaded now. I also unlocked Gordy and Dr. Death from it. Well, my cruising came to a swift end. I thought it might not be here, but nope, I had to do the Battle Royale. I mean, I at least knew a general strat this time around, but I did not want to go through this again. If you're wondering about the audio, it's basically the same as WrestleMania 2000. The graphics are as well, but I did notice the crowd's quite different in this one. Gives off more of an old school feel. To my surprise, Andre the Giant of all people showed up as the final wrestler. How did he get into this thing? This isn't fair, man. How can Vader take him on? Nah, I punched him out of the ring all the same. Yep, nope. Remember how Stone Cold yanked me from outside? Well, Andre the Giant did it, and he went with a full pull, and that was it. All the way back to the start. I can't even be mad though, that was pretty funny. Then I got ganged up on in the final 3. There's just no chance if this happens. Like, what are you supposed to do? Thankfully though, it only took 3 tries this time. Andre appeared to just get knocked out? That's strange. That wouldn't happen in the other game. For winning, I unlocked Andre the Giant as a wrestler as well as what appears to be Jeff Bezos as a referee. Man, he really gets around. And finally, I had made it to the May Dome tournament, which is apparently the end of this journey. I was against Yoshinari Ogawa. Yeah, this was super easy just like all the others. But then in a huge twist, some fiery text popped up and I had to now fight against someone named Jumbo Tsuruta. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Yeah, another win for the GOAT Vader. I literally didn't lose a single match all year. I unlocked him as a new wrestler as well as the arena we were in as a new place to wrestle. Then it showed the same congrats message from before and the credits rolled. Now, one big thing this game has that's different from WrestleMania 2000 is the inclusion of MMA fighters. You can use these people to do full-on MMA fights, and it plays way differently. For example, if you go for a grapple, it puts you in this punching combo that was used in WCW vs NWO World Tour. You can even get them in a full mount and just wail on their face. I'm not sure how they get out of that though. I thought I got reversed into a submission from this armbar, but nah, it's just that the time ran out. There was a 3-minute limit. Honestly, I don't fully understand this mode. Like, what are the numbers at the top for? I feel like most people who play this are in it for the wrestling stuff, but it's cool that it's there, I guess. If you're really curious about all the unique features this game has to offer, I found a nice video from the Famicast reviewing the game that I'll link in the description. I also believe there is a fan-made ROM hack of this game that adds in Western wrestlers like Stone Cold and The Rock to the game, but I'm not sure the best place to obtain that patch. But yeah, that's about all there is for this one. Game complete. So yeah, there you have it. My journey to beating 2 games, WWF Wrestlemania 2000 and Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 Ōdō Keishō. Despite me complaining so much, mostly due to my issues with Tag Team and Royal Rumble, I had fun playing this. I think people consider WrestleMania 2000 to be one of the best wrestling games on the console. However, I'd say Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 is the way to go if you can install both the English translation and mod in the Western wrestlers. It's just a more complete game in my opinion. It'd be kind of funny to have The Undertaker go up against like Royce Gracie in an MMA fight. WWF was right to make the move to get AKI to make their games, as Acclaim just could not deliver something near this quality. Don't get me wrong, I'm still very upset about that Royal Rumble, and the salt affects my perception of the game for sure. I also found the career modes very repetitive. Like, instead of 50 matches or whatever, maybe only a few random matches and just the important ones would have been more fun in my opinion. It's definitely worth checking out if you're into wrestling games though, especially as a multiplayer experience. Many people say this aged very well. I gave WWF Wrestlemania 2000 a 5 out of 10 for enjoyability and a 9 out of 10 for difficulty. Screw that Royal Rumble. And I gave Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 a 6 out of 10 for enjoyability and a 2.5 out of 10 for difficulty. Alright, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. We had a randomized marble race to determine which game was next, so here's how that played out. Or skip to the timestamp on screen to skip straight to the game selection. 220 games left on the list, yes, 220. We're here in the Snow Globe, Castlevania, Space Invaders, WCW, Perfect Dark, Cruisin' USA, or will it be some garbage? Let's find out. Off we go. And the next Madden game is in the lead, followed by Last Legion, Snowboard Kids 2, and Conker's Bad Fur Day though. Don't count it out yet. Currently, Madden is in the lead, steadily hanging on Last Legion, not too far behind. And no lead changes yet, but we're about to have a split path here. Let's see, Madden opts for the right-hand side. Last Legion, Snowboard Kids, everybody else going for the left. Madden must know something these people don't know. They could have copied off Madden, but no, decided for a different path. Madden, we'll see who comes through first. Madden's currently in the lead, but we got these washing machines over here. Who's going to come out first? Madden, the first one out of the turns, as expected. Last Legion, Snowboard Kids, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Ridge Racer on the other side. And Madden getting held up quite a bit there. And now it's Custom Robo V2. His NASCAR 2000 gets obliterated. Nintama Rantaro also. Some random Japanese game. Lots of games getting launched off the cliff there. And we've got people coming out of these washing machines. Pay attention to both sides, folks. Whoever comes out first has a huge advantage. And Madden does come out first. The next Madden game is the first one out. Can Madden secure a victory? We got Kirby 64 on the other side, but Madden is just currently dominating, folks. And Kirby 64 is trying to make a play, but I don't see it happening. Madden coming down the final turn. Can we get something to stop this from happening? No, we cannot. We cannot, folks. Kirby 64, not today. Alright, it's been decided. We are playing the next Madden game, which is Madden 2000. But yeah, if you're still here watching, you're awesome. Thank you so much. If you had a good time, consider hitting that like button, or maybe even dropping a subscription. Or hey, maybe even watch another one of these videos that's on screen now. And yeah, see you next time.